Durham need only 3 Derbyshire wickets on the last day to wrap up their 5th win from 9 LV County Championship games and to keep pressure on new leaders Sussex. They were only denied a 3-day win by Shivnarine Chanderpaul and Tom Poynton after the visitors to the Emirates Durham International Cricket Ground collapsed again. The first part of day 3 was about Keaton Jennings. He'd batted beautifully on the first day before he was out just 7 runs short of his maiden championship 100. He resumed his second innings on 65 out of his side's 208 for 2, and he was soon playing freely, taking his team's lead to 378. Derbyshire kept plugging away as they had to, and John Clare's efforts were rewarded with a wicket of Will Smith, who edged a cut behind on 22. Clare soon tasted success again, Ben Stokes edging him to Dan Redfern to depart for 8. But Jennings remained calm, and this time he did move through the 90s and finally nudged a single off David Wainwright to complete his excellent ton. There was a little moment of worry before he completed the run, and the delight he was feeling was clear for all to see. The 21-year-old son of Ray Jennings was having an unforgettable match, his century coming up off 247 balls, 10 of which had brought him 4s. In the end, it was an important innings too, as no one else scored many. Michael Richardson was on 14 when he mistimed a shot off Wainwright and was caught by Clare. Phil Mustard was bowled by the left-arm spinner for a single, before Gareth Breeze was defeated by a flighted Turner from Redfern after contributing 5 runs. Jennings had been at the crease for 93 overs when he was finally dismissed just after lunch, taking on Tim Groenewold's throw from the deep. He left on 123 after batting for more than 10 hours in the match overall. He was out with a total on 310 for 8 and the lead standing at a mammoth 450, one which was added to by some lusty blows from Callum Thorpe. When Mark Wood gave Redfern his 3rd wicket for career best figures of 3 for 33, Durham declared on 331 for 9, and that left Derbyshire with an improbable 472 runs to get to win for the first time this season. To stand any chance at all, they needed a big partnership at the top of their order. Instead, it all started to go horribly wrong again after Chesley Hughes and Richard Johnson had knocked off only 19 of those runs. On early, Stokes produced a cracker to bowl Johnson for 9, before Wayne Madsen was out for a single as he edged another good one from Thorpe behind. Hughes was out in the next over, Richardson with a very smart cat in the slips off Stokes, and then Wes Durston was plumb in front to Chris Rushworth. The bowler then adding his 8th wicket of the match to get shot of Redfern, who nicked a breeze with a score on a rather disastrous 49 for 5. Derbyshire had slipped to 69 for 8 first time out, and they were hardly faring any better this time. A victory with a day to spare seemed to be a certainty, but in Chanderpaul, Derbyshire have a batsman who never knows when to give up. He's witnessed too many collapses since joining the county, but this time he was able to stop the rot as he, as ever, mixed a solid defence with some moments of flourish. He received some good support from Poynton, a man who lost his place in the side earlier in the season because of his lack of runs. He played brightly here as Derbyshire at last were able to match their opponents in a contest where, for the most part, they've been completely outplayed. Chanderpaul's 7th boundary took him to his 50 off 73 balls. It was the 5th time in 16 innings this summer that the legendary West Indian has got that far. He has, as always, been the model of consistency in this troubled season. Of course, he is best known for his immense powers of concentration and his downright doggedness, but he doesn't always play that way. He really started to express himself, especially when facing Scott Borthwick, who he hit for 3 4s off successive deliveries to take his partnership with Poynton to 98, far and away the best stand of the match as far as the visitors were concerned. But after doing that, Chanderpaul was out in the next over, edging Rushworth behind to go for a rather thrilling 76, which had been made off only 92 balls. Poynton remained, and before the close he too had secured a half-century. He needed 104 deliveries for his, and he got to it by hitting Stokes for a couple of boundaries, taking his tally to 8. How he would have wished that the top order could have done something similar. At least he had ensured that there will be some cricket on Thursday, although Durham were left with only 3 wickets to get, when Wainwright was LBW to breeze shortly before the close. It shouldn't take the home side too long to wrap things up on the final morning to close the gap on Championship leaders Sussex. With Poynton on a defiant 56, Derbyshire will go again on 181 for 7, and that leaves them still requiring a nigh on impossible 291 runs to win.